day at school, Jay was tired and wanted to sleep. Yuri suddenly scared her from behind. She was surprised by his appearance and noticed he'd removed his glasses and put on contacts. She told him he looked great, thinking, "My man looks amazing with or without glasses." At that moment, Kiefer felt jealous, and when they went to class, Jay found Saigon sleeping and tried to wake him up. Aman stopped her, saying, "Leave him. He's like a rock. You can't wake him." They started cleaning the kitchen to store their supplies, and Jay noticed a box labeled with the name Keela. She asked what happened, and they told her Keela was a nice girl, but when she got angry, she was a demon. Once she pulled a girl's hair and injured her, and the school wanted to expel her. Instead, they transferred her here. Jay was surprised and asked how Keela returned after everything that happened. Kiefer interrupted her, saying, "It's none of your business." He whispered, "Curiosity killed the cat," and added, "Got it, kitten," before leaving. Jay felt scared but remembered how he held her hand that morning and forgot everything he did. "I told you, the hook is set." Jay started working, taking out the trash, when she noticed one of the guys acting strangely. She went to where he had been standing and found something unusual, though it wasn't clear what it was. Her curiosity got the better of her, but she couldn't ask because everyone was eating lunch. Yuri noticed something was off and asked if she was okay. Kiefer, keeping an eye on everything, seemed suspicious. David then appeared injured, and all the guys gathered around him, telling the girls to stay away. Of course, Jay and Mika eavesdropped, trying to figure out what was happening, but they failed. Jay started suspecting something was wrong since the boys were acting secretive. When they saw her, they scattered, making her feel that nobody was going to tell her anything. She took advantage of the group's focus on Kiefer to talk to David and asked, "Come on, as your close friend, tell me what happened." David explained that Keiko had announced he was going to propose to her, and David couldn't stand it, so they fought over her. Jay assured him she'd fix things between them, but David refused her help. Kiefer then ordered the guys to escort her out, saying, "She's going to make things worse." Cian was tasked to take her away, saying, "Let's go. There are dishes waiting for you." They ended up washing dishes together. Jay asked him to spill the details, but Cian said, "You know I'm not into gossip," and eventually confessed that the guys were planning something to get David's justice. He begged her not to pressure him any further, then ran out. A while later, Kiefer entered and asked, "What are you doing here, miss?" She asked him the same thing. Kiefer explained that it was the men's bathroom and that he had every right to be there. Jay argued it wasn't her fault that the girls' bathroom was out of order. He asked her for the millionth time if she liked Keiko, and she denied it. Kiefer pulled her closer, looked into her eyes, and said, "Say it to my face." She told him it was none of his business and asked why he cared so much. Embarrassed, he couldn't respond, flipped the conversation, and accused her of caring about him. Jay explained that she was trying to resolve the problems between the guys. Later that day, the group gathered and warned Jay not to follow them. Her curiosity got the best of her, so she tricked Eamon and slipped away, following them silently. They entered an abandoned building, and Jay snuck in, hiding behind some wood. Suddenly, someone grabbed her from behind and covered her mouth. Our guys called out to Keiko, who arrived with his crew. Let's be honest, Keiko's muscles are impressive. A fight was about to break out between Keiko and David to settle things once and for all. David took off his jacket, showing off his muscles, ready to fight. But before they could do anything, someone from above stopped them and asked Kiefer, "Don't you know who's behind this?" They realized it was Ram, the gang leader they'd clashed with before. Ram revealed that he brought Jay to watch the showdown. When they tried to argue, Ram said, "Calm down, guys, I have a surprise." He brought out Jay, holding her and asking, "What's your name, beautiful?" The guys warned him to let her go, but Ram declared that no one could make him. Jay headbutted him and made a run for it, jumping from above. All the guys chased after her. We see gangs who successfully kidnapping Jay. This happens when she was in a fight with Kiko's gang because she was challenging them. However, Jay retaliates and starts attacking them. She jumps toward them immediately, shocking them. At that moment, she recalls what happened and wonders if something had happened to her, as she doesn't even remember passing out. The three of them look at her as if she's crazy because they weren't even able to catch her at the time, and she could have gotten seriously hurt. Kiefer is extremely worried about her. As time passes, he checks on her immediately to make sure she's okay. They don't want her to act recklessly like that again because they were genuinely scared for her. Meanwhile, Sean seems to be lost in his own world, believing that she was flying. Jay apologizes to him, and they try to escape from the second gang's territory. They all see her as weak, which is why they target her, especially since they've fought against her before. She blames them for dragging her into this situation, and she decides to have a one-on-one talk with Kiko. Kiko is happy about this, and everyone else decides to leave them alone. Kiefer doesn't want to leave, but he does anyway, keeping an eye on them. Kiko sits beside her and tells her not to listen to what David said. Jay makes it clear that she isn't interested in any relationships at the moment, and it has nothing to do with Kiko personally. She just prefers it that way. He accepts her decision, but it makes him sad, so he quickly leaves, feeling down. Meanwhile, David insists on escorting Jay home to ensure her safety. Kiefer is still upset, but follows behind her. Jay realizes he wants to say something, so she apologizes for what happened. However, he only cares about her well-being and doesn't want her to get hurt. She wants to understand everything that's going on, including why Kiko was involved in a fight to the death. It turns out that Kiko was once the leader, but someone challenged and defeated him. Since then, he has been cautious, even using a pipe to fight back and prove himself. They don't trust Kiko or anyone who follows him. Jay is happy that they care about her and want to protect her, especially if Kiko ever resurfaces. She wonders if she would ever agree to a relationship if someone wanted to be with her. She suspects Kiefer has feelings for her, but she denies it to herself and leaves, trying to calm down. Later, she arrives home late, and everyone is worried about her. She tells them she hit her head. Angelo informs her that he left earlier to handle a work issue. He also tells her that she has to spend the night with Eris in the only available room, meaning they need to get along. Suddenly, Phony calls, and Eris explains everything that happened between them and how she should handle it. When Jay sees a pregnancy test, she assumes it belongs to her and that it might be Kiefer's child. She recalls the moment she first saw it and then learns that it actually belongs to Denzel's girlfriend, who is pregnant. Angelo confronts Kiefer about it, shocking him. They assume Jay is pregnant with Kiefer's child. This causes tension, especially between Eris and Jay, as Jay keeps making things difficult for him. Angelo doesn't want this issue to affect their family's reputation, so they try to clarify everything. Kiefer is called in, and they all gather to confirm whether Jay is actually pregnant or not. Jay realizes that no one is truly on her side. She later speaks with Kiefer's father, who is also upset. Suddenly, the doctor arrives and confirms that Jay is not pregnant. The test results are negative. Everyone feels relieved, though they are also embarrassed by the misunderstanding. Kiefer can't stop laughing at the situation. Jay walks away, and Kiefer follows her. He apologizes on behalf of Kiefer, but she refuses to accept it. She's tired of the problems he always causes for her. Kiefer tries to resolve everything, but when he comes out, Jay immediately punches him because she's still angry at him for taking advantage of the situation. The next day, everyone finds out that Jay punched Kiefer, leaving a mark on his face. Meanwhile, she starts giving Senko advice on how to be good to Mika. However, the others gossip about her. When Kiefer finally speaks to Jay, he tells her it was all just a prank. She realizes he has been causing her problems all along, and they end up in another argument. Despite their conflicts, Jay eventually sits beside Kiefer, reflecting on whether he will ever apologize properly. They still can't get along and keep clashing, but eventually, everyone gathers to discuss everything. The first group to speak is Freya's, which is well organized. Each section starts listing their strengths, but in reality, none of them have anything special. They begin planning their next steps and suggesting ideas while Jay watches in surprise. When it comes to their own section, they realize they have nothing prepared. So, they decide to divide tasks, wondering what their section is supposed to do. They end up choosing to collect masks and guard the area. However, their teacher announces a change in the competition. The girls must dress like boys and vice versa, and then the most attractive person in each section will be chosen. Because of this, Freya makes Section E join them in the competition. However, she deliberately tries to make them look bad. As time passes, they get into an argument over the food that Iman is preparing. Jay steps in to organize everything while Kiefer sits nearby, as usual, trying to get closer to her. Meanwhile, Jay notices Denzel, who is sitting alone and looking sad because his girlfriend is pregnant. She approaches him, noticing that he isn't eating as he normally would. She encourages him to eat, assuming he must be overthinking things. However, Denzel jokes that he is the one who is pregnant. Jay, being naive, believes him for a moment before realizing he's joking, which annoys her. She takes his food and walks away while he simply starts eating. At the same time, another girl from the second section, who is dating Denzel, begs him to acknowledge their child. However, he keeps rejecting her. Suddenly, Jay arrives, yelling at the girl, which makes Denzel step in to defend her. Jay assumes that he prioritizes his girlfriend over her and that he is rejecting the baby because of her. She forces him to talk to the girl properly, reminding him that he is the reason for this situation and needs to take responsibility. Later, Jay tries to convince Denzel to acknowledge the child, but the girl keeps crying. Jay steps in to comfort her, realizing that she is an orphan and has no family. That's why Denzel refuses to be with her. He doesn't want the responsibility. Jay continues trying to console her as best as she can, but the whole situation becomes overwhelming. Later in class, Denzel is still ignoring the girl, and Jay wonders how to get through to him. She thinks about asking Angelo for help, but it would be difficult to get him involved. She also considers Yuri, but she isn't sure if he would agree. Then she thinks of David. Maybe he is the right person to talk to Denzel. Jay immediately goes to find David and they decide to eat together. David jokingly suggests they go on a date and Sean overhears them, making a big deal out of it. No one believes it at first, but eventually they all assume it's true. Many people, especially Kiefer, seem upset about it. Time passes and the three of them go to an amusement park together. They have fun, scream on the rides, and enjoy themselves. However, Sean gets motion sickness, leading to an argument with Jay. They start playfully chasing each other around the park. Sean wants to go on the rides again, but they decide to take a break and get some food instead. Meanwhile, David and Jay sit together, which she didn't expect. She wanted to talk to him seriously, mainly to find out if his girlfriend was pregnant. She doesn't want anyone to find out what's happening, but she suspects that Denzel refused to be with Chris because of something he overheard. Jay realizes Denzel is struggling to take this step. As the class keeps watching the situation unfold, Jay thinks about who might be able to convince him. Then David reveals that all their classmates are secretly observing them, even though they are hiding. To reveal them, he tells Jay to close her eyes. When she does, the hidden students finally show themselves. David takes the opportunity to touch her, and just as he is about to kiss her, everyone rushes forward, stopping him because he already has a girlfriend. This causes a lot of drama. Sean and the others also show up, scolding David for even attempting that. Freya is particularly furious, believing David had no right to do it. His reaction makes them realize that he is more upset than they expected, especially since Kiefer had already been getting close to Jay. Later, they decide to enter a haunted house. Jay is terrified and refuses to go in, but everyone insists. They take pictures together to remember the moment. Once inside, Jay gets even more scared, especially since she is stuck with Sean. Everyone is frightened because they aren't used to haunted houses. One by one, they go through different terrifying moments. Jay, trying to be brave, holds on to Sean, who is barely keeping it together himself. They walk through the haunted house until they reach a specific area where everyone suddenly gets scared again. Then, out of nowhere, they realize one of their friends has disappeared. She ran off alone, lost inside the haunted house. Jay is terrified when she sees a vampire and starts crying uncontrollably. The sight brings back old memories, making her even more emotional. Kiefer immediately steps in to comfort her as she has a full-blown panic attack. She hadn't wanted to enter the haunted house in the first place, and now she is overwhelmed with fear. Kiefer stays by her side, trying to calm her down as much as possible, and he manages to reassure her. He promises that he won't leave her, leading them both to exit the haunted house together. But suddenly, Jay runs off alone again, and she and Kiefer start calling out for each other. Though she tries to steady herself, the place is still terrifying. Just then, Kiefer finds her and immediately pulls her into a hug. She hugs him back, and in that moment, it's clear that Kiefer truly loves her. However, they quickly separate when their friends arrive. As they rejoin the group, everyone starts teasing them, convinced that something must have happened between them. Jay, however, is eager to go on the rides again. At first, Kiefer refuses, but when he sees how much she wants to, he gives in just to make her happy. He decides to enjoy the moment with the group, but Yuri watches closely, growing more and more irritated. Kiefer keeps getting closer to Jay, and Yuri doesn't like it because he loves her. While waiting for their turn, Jay notices that Yuri knows some of the people nearby. They seem to really like him, and he quickly walks away. Meanwhile, the new group persuades others to let them go ahead in line, which impresses Jay. She thinks they're crazy, but skilled at persuasion. Kiefer, with just one charming smile, easily gets his way, proving he can manipulate situations effortlessly. They finally board the Ferris wheel, and Kiefer insists on sitting next to Jay. This upsets the others since it leaves them without a seat. The four of them ride together, and Jay starts suspecting that Yuri is here to confess to the girl he likes. However, he laughs it off as a joke. They take photos together, but Yuri grows increasingly annoyed because Kiefer is staying too close to Jay. Suddenly,